we are expecting the arrival of Rodwell and Gomazana at the Santon Mediclinic, where our international editor Sophie Mokoena is indeed there on standby for us. The 9-year-old, as you might have been following the story, Zimbabwean boy, he was severely disfigured when a hyena attacked him in Zimbabwe. And he is now in South Africa this afternoon, where a number of our own doctors here have indeed decided to help out and offer surgery free of charge at the clinic, where he will certainly be having quite a number of procedures. We do understand from the doctors that it will take about 5 procedures to get him somewhere where he needs to possibly be, in terms of the fact that his injuries are quite severe, very severe. This after the animal accosted him. He lost one of his eyes, he lost his nose, he lost parts of his mouth during this particular attack. We do understand that there are a number of doctors that have been having a briefing at this time. In fact, we were planning to take you through to that, but we'll get the information then from Sophie Mokoena, who'll let us know what was discussed in that particular briefing. A team of South African doctors, including plastic surgeons, will certainly be on hand. There will be dental surgeons also, as well as pediatricians. So a huge team of medical staff and doctors set to step in and help the young boy after such a dreadful accident that took place, in assisting to reconstruct his face. Those surgeries, as I've mentioned, really taking place for free, pro bono service really at this time. He is expected to have the first operation on Monday, as we understand it. So he did just come in from Zimbabwe at this time. We do understand, of course, that Zimbabwean doctors did manage to, of course, stabilize him. You can imagine that this was a huge situation. There he is being wheeled into the hospital at this time, lying down. His face covered. We can imagine what's in store then for the medical staff and the medical team. As you see, they are waiting for him at this time to welcome him in South Africa at the hospital. This first operation, as we've been understanding, is to first of all really to assess the level of damage. I'm sure there's better medical terminology, but we'll get the doctors to do that for you. But yes, indeed, to assess the level of damage that was to his facial structure. As I've mentioned, he's lost his eyes, lost nose, parts of his mouth, and certainly a lot of work awaits this medical team. There will then be another 2 surgeries that are set to be taking place within the next 2 weeks. So of course, there will be some sort of a recovery phase in between all of these surgeries. And as I've said, the doctors do believe that it could be up to 5 procedures in order to complete the reconstruction of the little boy's face. A very sad story, but hopefully we get a good story out of it. Indeed, the fact that we have our doctors who have stepped in is already a good indication of how this story will end. So that is the team and medical staff there outside Santon Mediclinic welcoming the little boy. They are our camera crew there live, as well as our international editor Sophie Mokoena also there for us. She spoke to us briefly, telling us that the doctors are indeed talking to each other about, I suppose, where to start and how they will continue with this. And so at this stage, they will then be assessing him from Monday, and from Monday onwards, we'll certainly be keeping you updated with this story. So indeed, he has arrived in at this time in South Africa for those medical treatments that he is to take. There you have it, Flora.
parents, quite an emotional moment. The boy has arrived in South Africa. He was accompanied by his mother. The doctors are on standby. We have been told earlier on that he is going straight to his ward, where an assessment will be done. After the assessment, the doctors will hold a meeting to discuss a way forward. We will get an update only on Monday. Because of the COVID-19 regulations, we are not allowed to enter the ward. But the hospital has promised, or the clinic has promised, that they will give us an update as soon as an assessment has been done. You can see the staff was quite emotional. I identify one healthcare worker who was literally crying, and I could understand that she is crying because it is a very difficult time in the country where we are battling the COVID-19. But also they are here as health workers to do their work, and they are committed to do their work under very, very difficult circumstances. And I think the mother is quite happy. The boy is finally here, and definitely the boy will get assistance. And we know that he was attacked by the hyena in Zimbabwe, in the countryside, while he was attending a church service at night. Thank you. Back to you in studio.
The SABC international news editor for us at the Santon Mediclinic, where the young boy has indeed then arrived at this time, and of course that's where the camera kind of cuts. Then for that, of course, indeed we need to give some kind of space and privacy then for the medical team who will be assisting the young boy in terms of his facial reconstructive surgeries, and certainly assisting him for free here in South Africa. So of course a team of plastic surgeons, dental surgeons, as well as pediatricians on hand to assist Rodwell Nkomazana, the little boy who was disfigured after the attack by a hyena in Zimbabwe, arriving here in South Africa. Let's continue.